Hey guys, my name is X Factor. I hope you're having a great day, and I find myself using LMGs in the support class more and more in Battlefield 1, and that's kinda against the trend. When we talk about the percentage of kills in Battlefield 1 recently, that's actually tracked. SMGs lead the pack at 21.1%, self-loading rifles or some of the medic rifles are 18.1%, snipers at 14.9%, and LMGs are only bringing in 12.1% of the kills, with grenades at 9.8%, gadgets at 7.2%, and sidearms at 6.9%. The LMGs have continued to be tweaked by DICE. They've seen quite a bit of love. Remember, various LMGs, when Battlefield 1 first came out, the first shot would be accurate, then the second, third, fourth, fifth would be really sloppy, and then they gain accuracy. Well, they've really tightened up those initial shots. So now, they are laser beams. And this is the 1909 Benet Mercie, which I have quite a lot of French in my blood. My mother's entire side, everybody originated from over in France. Called my aunt up, said, "What does this mean in French?" She said simply this: hold mouse button 1. I'm kidding, but that's really what LMGs have come down to. Doesn't matter if you're running with the Lewis Suppressive or the MG15. Once you get through that initial inaccuracy after the second, third, or fourth shot, depending on which one you're using, they are absolute laser beams. The only reason you'd want to let go is to manage your ammo and, of course, manage the cooldown, which you don't have to worry about with the 1909. As it comes with 30 rounds and there is no cooldown, but you do want to manage your reload times. If it's out of ammo, it's a 3.9 second reload. If it has at least one round in it, it is 2.6. So that's pretty important when you're trying to play aggressive. Now, this weapon, along with a lot of the LMGs, again, due to the continued tweaking by DICE LA, is extremely precise at long range. You can counter-snipe snipers. And remember, you do have suppression on your side. When you get one or two bullets by them or on them, it's going to start that flinch, random optic sway. Added recoil really doesn't mess up a sniper too much, but the random bullet deviation does. You usually can shoot through that. Now, if they manage to get the crosshair on your head, doesn't mean the bullet's going there. Sometimes they might pull off a lucky shot, as I've done quite a few times, praying to RNGesus every time that does happen. So the headshot multiplier is, of course, 1.7. That means up close, you're doing 39.1 damage to the head. And at max range, 32.3. And you can land, again, multiple headshots at range due to the muzzle velocity being pretty decent at 820 meters a second, comparable to some of the sniper rifles that I prefer in Battlefield 1. It's amazing how often you hear the dink and the tink at long range, maybe land another body shot and another headshot. But be careful. The hip fire, as it should be, isn't all that great, even up close. Now, I like to combine this with the number 3 revolver because of, again, the time to kill on some of the pistols in Battlefield 1 is lightning fast. So instead of hitting people for 23 in the chest, remember there is a reduction if you hit them in the upper arms or lower body, just grab the number 3. It's pretty much a 2-shot anytime, because at max that does 90 damage in the head, but it always does 50 plus in the chest if you're in close quarter proximity, like I kind of am in now before it starts falling off. Extremely effective, and you can take out 2, 3, and 4 people if they're damaged, and if you land a headshot or 2 if you decide to go ADS. So when watching some of these outside lanes, this gun is disgusting. Again, highly accurate and highly precise once you get through that second or third round, where it really hones in and becomes a laser beam. And this is nothing unique to the LMGs. The Lewis Suppressive, the MG15, once you get through the first 5 or 6 rounds with that, is an absolute laser. So again, the only time to let go for me is to manage that reload, as you just saw me do right there, and fall a little bit short with the impact nade. I don't want to get stuck in a spot where I have to pop out a 4-second reload. I'd much rather have the 2.6-second reload and stay on my feet. Look at that. 99 damage that quick without a single headshot. Now, the one thing that is nice about the 1909 compared to some of the other LMGs like the MG15 is your second, third, and fourth shot is much, much more accurate than the MG15 that has a ton more recoil. And you guys know that's one of my favorite LMGs in the game right now, especially on operations on defense, where you might come across a group of 5 to 8 people pushing, and you just want ammo to be able to hose them down. Now, there is an optic version of this, there is a telescopic version of this, and that depends on two things. Do you want a added bonus to your ADS or aiming down sight when it comes to your accuracy and spread? Do you want to deal with that optic that's on there? This is the irons. This is default, and I really, really like the irons. There is nothing blocking my line of sight. The irons are pretty nice on this, pretty easy to see, great field of view. And it's not the optical that is a little bit blocky that can get you in trouble. But if you do want that bonus, you can get the telescopic version of this thing or the optical and just shoot even more laser beams as I reach out beyond the grave to get a lumpy as somebody gets the other elite, because we've stopped this team and now it's a non-stop spam of 4 different elites. Another couple things to keep in mind when using LMGs in Battlefield 1, unless it's the bar, is don't let go if you're changing targets. So if there's 2 or 3 guys lined up and you have something that has a higher ammo count like the MG15 or the Lewis suppressive, if they're lined up like ducks in a row, in previous battlefields, you'd shoot one, you'd kill one, you'd pause for a split second, get on the second guy, counter the initial recoil, and you'd go at it again, because that's when that weapon was the most precise, coming off a pause. Well, now, because the LMGs, and again, they've gotten a lot better because they've been continuing to be tweaked, you don't want that initial inaccuracy after the first round. So you can and should hold mouse button 1. Again, do not let go. So if there's a couple guys lined up, if you have a bigger ammo count like the Lewis suppressive or MG15, kill one, hold mouse button 2 to jump to the second, so you're going to miss a couple rounds, and then get to the third. As long as you don't run out of ammo or mess up your cooldown, that is when you're most accurate, when you're deeper in the mag or the ammo count. So that's something to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind, which is true to pretty much every Battlefield title that's ever been done, is you are more accurate when ADS, aiming down sight, no secret there, but standing still. I use my LMG a lot like I use my sniper. I dance, I stop, I pop, then I re-dance. If scope pops up, I'm going to shimmy a little bit till I reacquire the new target, maybe send a round or 2 by their head, maybe even land a couple, hopefully suppressing them in the process to maybe go back to cover or finish the engagement that I'm in. Now, up close and personal, obviously those inaccuracies don't mean as much as your target is much closer and is much bigger on your screen, and especially if multiple threats pop into your field of view, or you see them on the mini-map, you need them to miss, you're covering a reload, maybe you're dodging a grenade or 2, which does happen in Battlefield 1 by the objectives, or you're just trying to get to a different piece of cover to play off another angle. So it's always important, when you can, stop and pop. This thing is a laser beam once you get through the first couple rounds, and will pleasantly surprise you as long as you're not strafing and shooting across the map. Again, you do have that leeway up close, but at the end of the day, it's about minimizing your time to kill and landing as many headshots as possible, which compared to a lot of the weapons in Battlefield 1, some of these LMGs are extremely easy to get 2 to 3 headshots on a target. I've done it quite a bit, and it makes me chuckle a little bit, especially when it's a sniper on a hill or a ledge. The next thing to keep in mind is, of course, your setup. I really love to run lumpy and, of course, the small bag. Why the small bag? Well, that's going to be changing a little bit as Ammo 2.0 is coming to the community test environment, and they're already increasing passive grenade replenish from 36 to 49 seconds with the major grenades and throwables being paused if you're suppressed or in combat until you're out of suppression or combat for multiple seconds. So that should really help tune things up, with the big bag providing a quicker cooldown. But until then, for me, small bag is king. Let's say a sniper needs flares, which is really common. A sniper can run up to the small bag, have their flare gun out, instantly get 2 and a handful of rounds. Let's say an assault needs anti-tank rockets. If you're playing one of the operations, they can have their AT gun in their hand, get 4 rounds plus a little bit of ammo, or they get 2 rounds and a little bit of ammo if they still have 2. It's mobile, it's quick. Now, does it slow tick and reward multiple players with ammo first, and if they want to sit there with their AT rocket out forever? Sure. But I still think small bags are the way to go for my style. Now, if you're somebody that's using a mortar, then of course big bag is definitely the way to go, because you're going to throw that big bag out, you're going to jump on your mortar, teammates are going to come to you, and they're going to be pleasantly surprised to see that bag sitting next to you. You're racking up the points and you're helping them. So what do you guys think about some of the tweaks that have been done to the LMGs in Battlefield 1? Have you messed with the Benet Mercie or any of them recently? I'd give them a try because they're extremely effective at medium and long range. Remember, you can always switch to your pistol if it's up close, personal, in close quarters. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you guys soon.